All right, here it is, the 2021 Lexus IS. It looks completely new from outside, not much new on the inside, but it's still really nice to drive. For 2021, the Lexus IS remains largely unchanged, but it's still one of my favorite luxury sedans. Why? Well, it's extremely reliable, it's extremely comfortable, and I'm one of the few people out there that loves Lexus's giant spindle grille designs. That being said, today I'll give you a tour of the 2021 Lexus IS, and then I'll give you my opinion on what I think about it. But before I do, make sure you hit subscribe and hit the like button. All right, let's do this. Now, usually I'll kick off my reviews by pointing out all the cool and interesting things that you should know about a specific vehicle, but today I'm going to do something a little different. I'm going to give you a tour of all the new things that you can expect to see in the 2021 Lexus IS. And the reason I'm doing things that way is because the 2021 Lexus IS here isn't a whole new generation upgrade. It's virtually the same on the inside. It still has the same engine lineup, so it's been a bit challenging to find all the cool and interesting things. But let me give you a quick tour of all the new things that you can expect to see. That being said, let's kick it off with the biggest change for 2021, and that's exterior styling. The Lexus IS now looks more athletic, and that's definitely visible right here from the front end. Of course, the first thing you'll notice is the newly designed spindle grille. It definitely has a more three-dimensional look, and I like it quite a bit. I know the spindle grille is quite controversial, but it really helps Lexus vehicles stand out from a crowd of luxury vehicles, and hey, let's be honest, it's one of the coolest things about a Lexus. The next thing you'll notice are sharper and slimmer headlamps. My test model here has the upgraded triple beam LED headlamps, and they look really cool. Honestly, I really appreciate Lexus for being one of the few luxury brands out there that manages to differentiate their headlamps designs on every model. Also new for 2021, and if you look closely, you'll notice how the hood is lower, and that design element gives it a pretty sleek stance. Moving over to the side, you'll see sharp rocker panel lines that run all the way up to the wheel arches. Speaking of the wheels, my test model here has 18-inch wheels, but you can upgrade them to 19-inch wheels. I definitely would. I'm not a fan of these 18-inch wheels here. They look nice, but they feel kind of small. Also, when viewing the new Lexus IS from the side, you'll notice, just like how every other sedan does it these days, the rear roofline is sloping, and that gives it a really nice coupe-like appearance. All right, and finally, let's move over to the back. And obviously, the first thing you'll notice is the new design for the taillights, and it follows the current trend of putting giant LED bars that span across the rear of the whole vehicle. I actually like the rear end of this design a lot. It gives it a really nice, sharp appearance. All right, now let's hop inside the 2021 Lexus IS, and once you get in here, you'll notice not much has changed at all. And while I appreciate Lexus's dedication to quality and comfort, I do wish they did a little bit more with this interior. The only reason I say that is because the competition is now leaps and bounds ahead when it comes to design, tech, and gadgets and gimmicks, and to have Lexus keep things the way they are in the new IS here is a bit of a letdown. I've only been able to point at three major changes, and the first are these cool circular vents. You have them on both sides, and they look pretty dope. The second thing I noticed is some rearranging of the center console here. The drive mode selector has moved up here, and the touchpad has moved down here. Speaking of the touchpad, actually, I'm so happy they've gotten rid of that whole mouse thing. That was really annoying. But the biggest upgrade for 2021 here is obviously the new 10.3-inch touchscreen display, which is very cool because it took Lexus quite a while to put in a touchscreen display into their cars. The Lexus RX has one, and now the IS is getting one as well. Now, if you want to get this 10.3-inch touchscreen display, you will have to upgrade as a part of a $2,750 navigation and Mark Levinson sound system package. Now, if you don't care to upgrade to the bigger display, you do get an 8-inch touchscreen display as standard, and you do have Apple CarPlay, you do have Android Auto and Amazon Alexa in here, so that's pretty cool. Now, if you want a slightly deeper dive into this infotainment system, check out my 2020 Lexus RX review. Link is popping up in the right-hand corner on the top, or you can see it in the description below. And if you want a closer look at it, go check that out. While all that's cool, everything else inside the 2021 Lexus IS is virtually the same. I really wish they took a page out of the new Lexus ES or even the new Lexus LC with a better design layout and higher quality buttons. That being said, I do wish they just did a little bit more. There's no cool ambient lighting system. There's no cool voice assistant like MBUX or the ones you see in BMWs. There's no wireless charger, at least in my test model here. And there's no Stargaze roof that we saw in the Toyota Venza. If anything, any Lexus model should have the Stargaze roof option, not the Venza. Let's talk about pricing. Pricing for the 2021 Lexus IS 300 rear-wheel drive starts at $39,000. The IS 350 F Sport starts at $42,900. As tested here, which is an IS 300 all-wheel drive, you're looking at $47,975. So what makes my test model here almost push $48,000? Well, the triple beam LED headlights will cost you an extra $1,250. As I said before, the upgraded navigation and Mark Levinson sound system runs an extra $2,750. And then you have a comfort package which adds on heated and cooled seats and a heated steering along with a moonroof for $1,950. For me, at that point, I would just step up to the IS350 all-wheel drive F-Sport since that already comes standard with the comfort package. I would just add on the dynamic handling package, the triple beam headlamps, and the navigation Mark & Levinson sound system, and then I'll be really happy. Now let's talk about power and performance. The IS300 over here is powered by a 3.5 liter V6 making 260 horsepower and 236 pound-feet of torque, and that's made it to a 6-speed automatic transmission. Now, of course, this isn't the only engine option you have. The rear-wheel drive IS300 is powered by a 2-liter 4-cylinder turbo making 241 horsepower. Also, if you want an IS F-Sport, you can now only get it as an IS350, which is powered by a 311 horsepower 3.5-liter V6. When it comes to 0 to 60, I clocked it in at 6.2 seconds with a top speed of 130 miles an hour. Obviously, if you want to go faster, go for the IS350. That should do 0 to 60 in about 5.6, 5.7 seconds. When it comes to drive modes, you can switch them through right here. You have normal, then you have sport and eco, and you also have snow. If you get the IS350, you will have sport plus. So get the IS350. Fuel economy wise, you get 19 city and 26 highway. I've been driving this for about 2 days and I've managed to average a total of 17.2 miles a gallon. I thought it would be a little bit better. Now, before I give you my opinion on how it is to drive the new 2021 Lexus IS, let me point out a few random things that I love to show all of you. You have a total of 2 cup holders in the front. And then, check this out. You have no cup holders in the back. Now, Lexus did tell me that this is a pre-production model, so they might add cup holders right here. But right now, I don't see them anywhere. Also kind of weird, my test model has a rear shade option. You push that button right there, and the rear shade will go up in the back, but there's no button to do that from the back seat, the people that need the shade. So if you want the shade put up in the back, you have to tell the driver, hey, the sun's burning my back, push that button. Let's hear how the door open and close sounds on the 2021 Lexus IS from the outside and from the inside. Pretty solid, and I just don't say pretty solid on every car. If it's a good sound, closing door sound, I don't know why I said it that way, I say pretty solid. And here are what the keys look like on the 2021 Lexus IS. It's the same old Lexus key. You don't have remote start, lock, unlock, hold for trunk release, and the panic button when somebody gets too close. Last but not least, let's hear how the horn sounds on the 2021 Lexus IS. Pretty solid. Now that I've given you a tour of the 2021 Lexus IS, let me give you my opinion on what I think about this slight, kind of cool upgrade. Let's get to it. Beyond the exterior design, there's not many major upgrades that you'll notice in here, but Lexus did improve the ride quality quite a bit. There have been upgrades made to the rigidity, the chassis, and the suspension, and that just helps the IS drive a little bit better than it did before. Now, it's not a massive difference over the outgoing model, but you definitely notice that the Lexus IS does feel a little bit more refined. One thing I do have to say, and many of you out there can disagree with me because you're entitled to your opinion, Lexus by far has one of the smoothest ride qualities when it comes to the luxury segment. Driving the 2021 Lexus IS has definitely reminded me why their buyers are so loyal to the brand. Yes, there's not many changes on the inside, there's not any new gadgets, there's no gimmicky tech, and the coolest thing you really have here is the 10-inch touchscreen display. But the feeling you get from driving a Lexus is definitely one of the best out there, especially if you love comfort and quality. Either way, thanks for watching. I'll see you next week. Make sure you hit subscribe. Make sure you follow me on Instagram at Omar Drives or on TikTok at Omar Drives. I'll see you next week. Take care. Peace. Lexus is definitely so comfortable.